What's going on, guys? Have some more Vikings franchise here today. Vikings playing against the Green Bay Packers, who are 3-6, and I said I was going to check on Landry Jones to see what was up because Stafford was Player of the Week last week. So I checked the stats from their last game, and Landry got hurt after just 2 passing attempts. Stafford came in, played brilliantly, and now the Lions seem to have 2 very good starting quarterbacks, and oddly enough, they played against the Green Bay Packers in their last game and beat them pretty handedly, 35-11. Rodgers with only 10 touchdowns at this point, but only 5 interceptions. James Starks getting the bulk of the workload on the ground for them and only averaging 3.2 yards a carry. And receiving, Greg Jennings still doing what he does, but the numbers look a little down. And A.J. Hawk leading them in tackles, Clay Matthews in sacks on a cold streak, and Nick Collins leading in interceptions. So we'll check out the standings now in the NFC North, and the Vikings and Lions have a tie, but the Lions win the tiebreaker, and a loss here for the Packers could potentially put them out of the race, needing 6 straight victories to get to 9-7. So Minnesota playing their first game in the snow, and here we go. Ponder handoff Adrian Peterson, cut right, cut left, making these defenders look silly early in the game. Adrian Peterson to the house, 82 yards. He'll dive into the end zone and do a little snow angel over on Lambeau Field. There we go, 7-0 Minnesota early, and now Rodgers low snap. Good protection, finds Randall Cobb. That's a great catch right there. That's going to be complete for 15 yards. We'll go to 3rd and 9, and looking right to James Jones, but he can't come up with a grab, and it would have been short anyways. So Minnesota takes over, handoff to Adrian Peterson, and he goes up the right side. There's another solid carry against this Packers run defense, but now 3rd and 10 for Ponder. Drops back, great protection, goes over the middle to Visanthe Shenko, the veteran tight end, for a 12-yard reception. Now in Green Bay territory, 3rd and 11, Ponder under pressure. He is sacked, so Minnesota cannot get up any points on this drive, and the Packers take over now with only a 7-point deficit still, and clock runs out for Rodgers, and guess who? It's Christian Ballard once again having a monster second season in the NFL, and will take over the ball, handoff Adrian Peterson on the pitch, makes a cut, and he gets outside, goes over the century mark after 4 carries, and now 1st and 10, Ponder. Great protection, only a 3-man rush, and Ponder's just going to take off, take what the defense can give him. I mean, Rodgers does it in real life, and Ponder, he has the similar ability to run out of the pocket. And now Ponder on 3rd and 5, looking for Plaxico Burress, and he usually catches those, but he drops that one. 1st and 10 now for the Packers. Rodgers, he steps up in the pocket. He's going to run just like Ponder did earlier, and he will get up to the Minnesota 37. Big gain for Rodgers, but now 3rd and 10. Great protection once again, but just a badly thrown pass. And that brings up 4th down, and they punted the ball in that situation. And now Ponder has it back to pass. There's Plaxico Burress making a catch for 9 yards. Plaxico, he really impressed me, and I'm glad I signed him. I had doubts at first, but there's another catch by Burress, and he's just been reliable as I could have asked. Now 2nd and 9, Ponder back to throw, steps up in the pocket, and he's just going to run it himself. Plenty of white in front of him, not green, because it's obviously snowing pretty hard. And there's a 1st down rush for Ponder. And now 3rd and 4, back to pass again over the middle. Plaxico Burress once again getting behind that middle linebacker, Desmond Bishop. Great play. Burress shaken up, but he would be all right. Now 3rd and goal, Ponder to pass, looking to the end zone, doesn't want to force it, rolls to his right, looks over the middle. There's a Roma Shadu. Eventually found the receiver who got open, and that's what great quarterbacks do. And now Packers punting the ball at 17-0, and Kenyon Barner will field this at about his own 40, and he's going to take it up past midfield and get great field position for the Vikings. But here's a penalty you don't see too often. Unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds on Michael Mitchell, and that's going to give the Vikings an extra 15. They're at the 20-yard line for the start of this drive. We'll take that. Ponder back to pass. First play of the drive, looking towards the end zone, one-on-one. Michael Jenkins, touchdown Minnesota, 24-0. Green Bay is stunned, but they haven't been playing that well. And here's Rodgers going to Jermichael Finley, and he breaks Sean Jones' tackle, and Greenway finally catches up to him at the 20-yard line. Big catch for Finley. And now James Starks takes the handoff, but there's Donald Butler putting him down before he can get the 1st down, and Mason Crosby has to kick a field goal. And then after a punt return that got him inside of Minnesota territory, they can't convert once again. Greg Jennings just short, and so Mason Crosby kicks another field goal. It's 6-24. Vikings defense, though, they're playing great. Donald Butler with the interception, and Minnesota snatches the ball back from Green Bay. We're ahead in the fourth quarter now. Not much happened in the third quarter. Just took off some time, played it conservatively, and now the Packers have the ball, and James Starks takes that handoff. He gets a big gain. That'll get him close to midfield. And then at the 50, Rodgers on 2nd and 6, going deep for Greg Jennings. And Sean Jones, he has been slow to get over to receivers a lot. So when my safeties do come back off the injury list, I'm not sure who's going to start because Sean Jones has been pretty inconsistent when Tyrell Johnson, from what I remember, was playing pretty well. And now it's 24-9. Adrian Peterson, though, fumbles the ball. He has lost his fumble-prone player role, but there's a costly fumble, and Green Bay has an opportunity to get back in this game. 1st and 10, play action, Rodgers to the end zone, overthrown, and he couldn't see it, but Donald Butler got injured on that play, and we'll get back to that in just a second. But Rodgers now high snap. He's going to take off, and there's a great play. Sean Jones making a tackle, and the fumble is forced, picked up by Antoine Winfield, and the Vikings take over. And Donald Butler, we have a trend going on this team with broken collarbones. This is ridiculous. It's the most common injury I've seen in this game. So now Ponder with the ball, and there's a catch to Aroma should do. Wasn't sure if he was in bounds from the looks of things, but apparently he was. Not going to argue it. It worked for us. So now 3rd and 2, handoff Adrian Peterson. There's a first down, moving the chains over 200 yards on the day. A monster day for Adrian. And now Toby Gerhart takes it on 3rd and 1, and I like him in those short yardage situations. And 1st and 10 now, Ponder play action, looking over the middle in the end zone. Michael Jenkins, beautiful play. Just how I drew it up. So Minnesota now with a big lead, 31-9, and Rodgers and the Packers still going at it, but Rodgers is sacked, and there is Christian Ballard. That would pretty much seal this game for Minnesota. They win 31-9. Adrian Peterson got the rock 26 times, almost 240 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota dominated this game. The Packers had a chance at the end to get back in it, but some costly turnovers and some big plays by the Vikings defense kept Rodgers and crew out of the end zone in this game, only 9 points. So we get our 7th victory on the season, and we look like we're in pretty good shape. We'll preview the schedule here in a second, but just going over the statistics in this game, and Kevin Williams and Christian Ballard continue just to be absolute monsters in the middle. Our front four has been pretty scary. Donald Butler, he had an interception in this game, but is going to be lost for the season due to a broken collarbone. And so that will open up 2 roster spots. I'm not sure if I want to do anything with them right now. And here is a little recap of how our season's gone so far. All of those games are on my channel, so just check out the playlist, and if you missed one, you can go watch it. But we have a pretty good couple of games coming up here. I mean, the Seahawks and the Jaguars, they combined for 1 win. So hopefully we can get the double-digit wins here pretty quick, maybe lock up the division. It'll all depend on how Detroit plays, and if we win games that we should. So if you missed it last episode against the Chicago Bears, you can check that one out. And then on the bottom, we have WWE 12. The game just came out, and the video below is my first match on the game that I played with live commentary with CM Punk and John Cena. So you can check out those videos, and I will see you guys later in the next episode of the Minnesota Vikings franchise series.